Good morning, evening, afternoon. I'm tatocat. Welcome to my channel. Today we're playing Echoes Lucid9 Fangame. Previously, Rui confessed on what she did to get Yama to where he is and how she blames herself. And he's like, "It's not your fault." And they're like, "Yeah." And then he became Pikachu and shocked everything. And it turns out there's like super magic memory science powers. And she decided to let him sleep next to her, and now she's kind of staring at the ceiling, pretending it's a sky. And that's where we left off. A thing that was never alive can't really die. But for things that are or were, that's simply the nature of things. We live and then we die. Our thoughts, memories, and ideas follow, and before long, everything we once were will end up lost to that deep darkness. By that deep darkness, we go unacknowledged, unremembered, and unloved. But we go on. We go on for the people and things we care about. If we're lucky enough to have any of them left. And if we don't, we go on for ourselves and the fear we feel. Nothing matters to this cosmic machine, but to us, we're nothing. We're the nothing that matters more than anything else. When I think about the night sky, I take it as a reminder that space isn't an obstacle. Time isn't an obstacle. We hold ourselves back. We hold each other back. But that doesn't matter. We all give up and let go eventually. We're an insignificant species on an insignificant rock in an insignificant star system. But to us, we matter most of all. For better. Or for worse. Hey, Yama. Yeah. I like to hold your hand while you fall asleep. Don't get the wrong idea, though. It's not anything weird. I just want you to know I'm still here. You can still feel things down there, right? Way to word it, Rui. Down where? Your hands, smooth brain. Oh. Yeah. It's temperature and pressure sensitive, synthetic nerve endings and all that. So, sure. Go ahead. A flash of heat erupts in my chest as I intertwine Yama's cold metallic fingers with my own. Wait. Did he say these were temperature sensitive? You're enjoying this, aren't you? Look, I missed you. And even though your head's screwed on backwards, I don't want you to go either. So, don't make a big deal out of it, alright? I'm going to declare you a permadummy if you do. Yama simply laughs in response. You know, you can get a little close if you want. I don't mind. You sure? Yeah. It's not like me staying over here is going to get the genie back in the bottle anyway. Okay then. You ready? Always. I shuffle towards Yama, making an effort to keep my movement telegraphed and predictable. I take several seconds to wrap my arms against his torso and curl up next to him, but the sensation still makes him flinch. It's only as my head comes to rest on the shaped metal plate just above his heart that I realize what I might be doing. Sorry. Is this okay? Yama sighs as he gently wraps his other arm around me. I already said yes. You want a written contract or something? Wouldn't hurt. A cool prosthetic hand touches down on top of my head, ruffling my hair. Remind me tomorrow then. Hey, really? Who do you think I am? An idiot. Well, you're not wrong. I was hoping for a little more detail though. An existential idiot? Why are you asking me? Why do you think? I don't get paid to think. Even if I was, do you really think I know? You can just use a few words. You can't just use a few words to accurately describe the ever-changing neurophysical and historical patterns that are inexorably me fumbling over words. Inexorably bound to each other and every sack of flesh of whatever we call a person. The effects that they have on others, maybe, but not the patterns themselves. Is that the long way of saying you don't know? Honestly, I don't even know who I am besides a name and a goddamn ID number. I know what you've done though, how it's affected people, inspired them, encouraged some of them to keep going. I suppose if you want to assess someone's character, it's best to look at the actions they've taken and the decisions they've made. So, I'm my choices. That's fair. But what if someone makes those choices for me? You can do things without choosing to do them, you know? Your life's not a takeout menu. That's the thing. What if my actions contradict my intentions? What if someone else was behind the wheel this whole time and I never had any chance of stopping them, even if I wanted to. Who would I be then? A good man. An honest man. I tightened my grip around Yama. A man worth caring about. Honestly, I would have just said I was the person who was here and left it at that. After I lost Mizu, I stopped wanting to be something to someone or to do anything that would change this world for the better. To every friend I had, I was the quirky, depressed guy, and that was fine. I didn't even want anything. But I see now. I know. Like everyone else, there are certain things I can't help but aspire to be. I feel the pain of living in this world, and sometimes I wish I was never alive to experience it in the first place. However, I know that, and if people decided to watch me for long enough, they'll know that as well. Someone might take that away from me in the future. Someone might even take away everything that's left of me. But right now, I can say to them, my name is Yama Ishimoto. Aside from these metal parts and a few bad patches in my life, I'm a person just like you. I was a kid with hopes and dreams. Now I'm slightly older, and there are slightly more depressing hopes and dreams. And I wanted to make my life okay by finding the one thing that would make it okay. And that made my life less okay, because the only thing that wasn't okay was me. But in the end, I'm a person just like you. I make mistakes, but my life has value. Like other lives, it can change the world bit by bit. It can change people bit by bit. And damn it all, if I didn't at least carve out a dent. I can use that life to take action, to maybe even have some choice in that action. But I need to believe that life is mine, because that's who I am, and that's all I'd ever like to be. Oh, Yama. Sometimes sometimes you meet people who aren't the most cheerful, and all you want to do is change them. But sometimes it's okay to not be like that all the time. Sometimes that's just who that person is at that moment. I didn't know it then, but all my life I was searching for something. I was looking for an accomplishment that would justify this bare minimum existence of mine. But I know I had it all along. It was getting you to care about me. So thank you. You mean the world to me, really. You're as subtle as a nuclear explosion. But thanks. You mean the world to me too. Try to get some rest, okay? When you wake up, I'll be right here. I love you. Attention, all cell personnel. The current time is 0500 hours. Breakfast will be served in the mess hall in 15 minutes. Please exit your quarters and stand by for further orders. Attention, all cell personnel. The current time is 0500 hours. Breakfast will be served in the mess hall in 15 minutes. Please exit your quarters and stand by for further orders. After being roused from my slumber by the grating, monotone voice, I don't feel like I was monotone voiced enough of the building's PA system, I shamble to my feet and prepare myself to face another day of the unusual. The message it delivered loops without cessation, like a misaligned record, and every time it repeats, feels more needlessly disruptive than the last. But to be fair to the people whose job it is to wake up everyone up, at least they didn't go with that fucking air raid siren again. One of your current objectives has changed. Before changing me into my work outfit, I raise the lights and turn my head to take a quick glance behind me. First of all, what is our objective? I still haven't figured out how to do the placeholder mission. Did I get a new one? Or is this added? Pursue, okay. I think it's this one, right? Probably. Maybe? Who knows? To my surprise, my eyes are met by nothing but soda bottles and an empty bed. Yama's already gone. I should have expected that he'd want to leave before we saw each other again. Or that he'd have to. If I was embarrassed by that experience, then it must have been at least somewhat of a shit show on his end. Even if it wasn't, WayForward has more tech in his head than they have in mine. And I'm at their beck and call already. Honestly, if they're going to stop me from straightening his collar and starting his day off right with a morning hug, they could at least tell me what he's doing out there. How the hell did he manage to sneak out of here anyway? You'd think a 6-foot tall, half metal cyborg would end up making more noise. You know what? Never mind. I should just get my shit together and focus on breakfast. If I start running out of protein during a fight, my odds of finishing it alive are going to be considerably lower. Is this Kosuke? I'm going, good morning, Dr. Hayata. I spend more than 5 seconds in the mess hall before I'm approached by one of my fellow operatives. Oh, no, not Kosuke. Sorry, fellow operative. Oh, it's Hisao. Unfortunately, that operative is the exact opposite of someone I'd enjoy talking to right now. I trust you had... I'm doing Misaki's... I trust you had a particularly good night's sleep. Why do I look well... Why? Do I look well rested? Blah, blah, blah. Why? Do I look well rested to you? Hisao laughs knowingly. More knowingly than usual, in fact. I'm going to hate this, aren't I? Amusing as always, Dr. Hayata. But I think we both know the answer to that already. And what would that be? Come on now, Doctor. I saw the grin on that ironclad lumix his visage the moment he exited your quarters. Hisao tilts his head and raises a half-empty glass of a malevolent smirk. I can't speak English apparently, even though it's my first language. Malevolent smirk plastered on his face. I'd like to raise a toast. I sound like It's really hard because I did Hisao's voice and Misaki's voice. It's basically the same except for Hisao's is supposed to be deeper because I feel like he should sound like Tamaki or James or something like that. And I can't do that voice on my own. I'd like to raise a toast to you and your most recent endeavor. Let's hope you enjoyed it as much as he did. Oh, Hisao, you. In all seriousness, no, though, do you exercise some caution? Do exercise some caution around that one. With his knowledge of the concept as it is, you're taking quite a risk involving yourself with him. But you already knew that, didn't you? I step past Hisao and proceed towards the buffet counter, doing my best to ignore him. I'm technically a bit early. The cooks have already finished setting it up, so I resolved to scour it for any form of meat alternatives I can load onto my plate. Let's not do the rice thing again. That seemed awful. In record time, I managed to collect a turgid heap of hard-boiled albumin, synthetic meat, durum wheat bread, fortified rice, and even the soggiest and least desirable blocks of tofu I can find. You did the rice thing again. It just sounded so unpleasant when you were eating it before, Rui. Why choose it again? I know you need the protein, but vegetarians do fine. In the end, my best estimate is that I've accumulated close to 10 megacalories in total, and like a bottomless pit, my stomach sends me a sensation of confirming that it's prepared to break it all down. Are you really planning to finish all that food in one sitting? Just as I finished loading my first forkful, Hisao slides into a seat across from me. Will you leave me alone if I give you some of it? Your offer is appreciated, my dear doctor, but it's quite fine. After all, it's my duty to maintain this long and wiry frame for our glorious tomboy-in-chief. What? Tomboy-in-chief? Oh, wait. Tomboy-in-chief? Don't tell me you're trying to seduce the commander. Why shouldn't I? This isn't ISM, you know. Nobody's going to court-martial me for a bit of fraternization. Besides, she likes her men thin, doesn't she? Dating sim thin. If I had to guess, not sprinter thin. The fact that I understand that concerns me. Maybe he's pretty good on that front. I take a second forkload from my edible mountain below, resigning myself to the grisly fate of eating a full meal next to this dollar store master Hoshi. She probably already has multiple 2D Bishi boys she can't bring to bear with a stylist. She probably has multiple 2D Bishi boys she can bring to bear with a stylist and a pirate copy of E.T. Tap Dick. You really think she'd choose your baby back bullshit over that? Why do I feel attacked? Am I Emmy? Ah, An excellent counterpoint. He could always cosplay. I feel like that would work in his favor. But like, he has to choose one he's very similarly looking to, you know, and just like show up one day like that while she's playing it, and then she'll like look up from her game and like see his face. You can do it, Hisao. I do suppose the competition's rather stiff. I sigh. Hisao. It's probably best if I ignore that one. Indeed it is. Well, I've got you here. Have you seen Yama anywhere? Why do you ask? Do you just want to know where he is, or do you intend to punish him for cleaning your pipes without ringing the old pelvic doorbell? Just answer the question. You walking phosphodiesterase inhibitor. Did I say that right? That's a big word. Uh, fine, fine. No need to be a spoil sport. Well, I guess we'll figure out where Yama is in the next episode. Uh, hopefully it doesn't end up awkward. It probably will.